Hello, everyone, and welcome to Insight PRM, powered by Wendover's April webinar on 3 well-known secrets that you already know that can help you outsell your competition. I'm Frank Craig, and we're going to give a couple of people a few more minutes here, but before we do get started, I just wanted to remind everyone that this is free information, no pressure, no sales zone. It's just information that we've taken from interviewing the top appointment setters, top sales reps over the last 27 years. And we just want to help you grow your business or your sales pipeline. Please, at any time, feel free to use the question button and submit your question. I will be asking a couple of questions as well, and that is where you will answer any of the questions that we have. And this webinar is for anyone in sales, whether you're selling widgets or you're selling cars, signs, print services, moves. It should help everyone just get an understanding. And this is information that everyone already knows. Just always good to have a quick refresher. And thank you, of course, for attending today. We will present the PowerPoint presentation to everyone. We'll also record this, and it'll be available on Insight PRM as well as Insight PRM's YouTube channel and in our April newsletter. If this is your first time attending a webinar, welcome. For those of you that are repeating, thank you. And this one will not be as long as some of the other ones. I'll probably allocate about 20-30 minutes for today. We'll really dive into the 3 well-known secrets. So we'll just give it a couple more seconds and we'll get started. Okay, so again, ask away with questions. I will do my best to answer them. If for some reason I do not answer them during this webinar, I will email you a response to that question. But please do interact. So let's get started. 3 well-known secrets that you already know that can help you outsell your competition. So everyone's probably thinking right now, well, what are these secrets? And anyone that knows me knows you need to have a process. You need to believe in your product and make the most out of every opportunity. So here we go. It's not complicated. Sales, prospecting, it's very fearful. It should not be. It shouldn't be complicated. We're going to try to give you the 3 tips today that can make it streamlined and less complicated. So we're going to jump right in here with a quiz. Please answer by using the submit a question. Rate yourself on the following. So just on the first, customer service. How would you rate your customer service? I see some 8s, some 9s, some 10s. 7, 9, 10. Okay, so I have a trusty little calculator here that's adding this all up for me. On average, it looks like so far about an 8.5 out of 10. A plus or an A minus. So you guys are still right there around that 90% range. Now rate yourself on your product. Again, using a scale of 1 through 10. I see a 9, I see an 8, a 10, 10, 10, 7. Okay, so the results so far are around a 9 on your product. Great. So far, we're on the honor roll. We're, having A's in customer service, A in product. Now rate yourself in prospecting. Your ability to convert prospects. A 4, a 5, 3, 7, 6, 2, 9. Okay. So on average, the group so far is around 44.2, which is funny because that's what the national average is. 42% is what everyone gives themselves as a grade, according to Harvard Business Journal and Sirius data. So let's just quickly review that quiz. Customer service, 90. A. Product, 90. An A grade. Prospecting, 4 point, well now it's up to 4.3. So failing grade. Why is that? Because we complicate it. So we're going to try to uncomplicate it for you today. Which brings me to, do you find prospecting difficult and complicated? Answer yes or no. Yes, no, sometimes. When the customer doesn't answer the phone. Yeah, exactly. And that goes into our next point of why. And is there a better way? There has to be a better way, right? Especially with social media and technology today, there are better ways, and we're going to dive into them. So again, what is your prospect process? Do you even have one? And then what makes a good prospect? I'm sure everyone right now, if I asked you what makes a good prospect, you guys would all answer someone that's willing to buy from me right now. And we're going to dive into that, about how long it takes to close somebody that requested information. We call it web leads, somebody that comes in, asks for information, and or even a call-in. What is that turnaround time to make them a prospect? We need to understand the metrics of converting people that are reaching out to us into clients, so then we can get a better understanding of, when we do outbound calling, what should those metrics be? So secret one, it shouldn't be a secret. Process, it's the most important. We're going to spend the most time on it. Having a process. It's amazing when we ask people to talk about their prospecting and what process they have. Most people are unaware of what type of process they're going to use. And I always ask them, well, what's your follow-up? Is it one phone call? Now, I'm going to ask a question to the group here. When you have somebody on the phone and you ask for Bill, and Bill's not there, Bill's no longer with the company, what do you do? Two choices. Do you hang up, or do you ask who took Bill's place? So I see that we have some rock stars here, because you guys are saying, we're going to ask, maybe you can help me. Maybe you could direct me to the person that took his place. Great answers. Would it surprise you if 90% of sales professionals and appointment setters would DQ or disqualify that lead based on that response from the administrative assistant or the person that answered the phone? 90% of leads are disqualified after the first attempt when they're given a no or the person's no longer there. So ask a follow-up question. You'll be ahead of the curve if you ask one additional follow-up question to the person that's on the phone with you. And of course, what do you want to take away from every interaction? Every interaction, you should learn something, whether you speak to the prospect you intend to or somebody in that organization. If you're calling to sell phone systems and the secretary is on the phone and you hear static in the background, are you asking when the last time somebody came out to test their phone system? Or are you asking them to look down on their phone and see what type of phone system they have? If you're in digital print or or print services? Are you asking when was the last time you did a mail campaign with postcards or shirts or pens? The person that's answering the phone probably has a lot of that information. So we want to ask additional questions. We want to have a process, and you should have that process outlined before you pick up the phone, before you send that first email. Does anyone have any questions on secret number one? There's a lot more to it still, but anyone have any questions so far? Where did I get the 90% of leads are disqualified? I got that from Harvard Business Journal, and there's a couple other sites as well that have it as 95%, 80%. But so now we get into into a little bit more of the process. Do we have a prospecting database? Do we have a prospecting plan? Or is everything tied together from customers, ex-clients, prospects, and everything mushed together? How many of you, out of curiosity, have two different programs, one for managing your clients and one for managing your prospects? Okay. And now, how many of you that answered you only have one system rated yourself as a 4 or below for prospecting? Majority, absolutely correct. Because you can't have both. They're two different types of calls to your clients, to your ex-clients, or to your prospects. You have notes. You have when the last time somebody bought from you, all in your customer database. Your prospects never bought. Why are you putting them in the same program? And this is a trend that has been happening. You need to be able to make prospecting simpler. You need to be able to speed up the process of having more touches. You need to get hand raisers. So you need a program that can send an email, track when it's been opened, and have all of the accessibility of Google, Bing, social media, everything tied in so that you can use it and be on your way with prospecting. 5 calls should not take an hour. 5 calls should not take 20 minutes. 5 calls should take no more than 7 to 10 minutes, especially if you're leaving voicemails. So clients and prospects are different, right? As I just alluded to, we need a fast method. Did they open my email? Why is it important if they opened my email? Are they responding to a call? Did I miss a follow-up? And really important, prospects come before customers. That's right. Prospects come before customers, so having a better way to prospect results in more sales opportunities. You can't have customers without prospects. So now that we've kind of talked about the process, and does anyone have any questions on the database or how to separate the two? Do we use two systems? Yes, we do. We have our homegrown system called Insight PRM, and then we have a management program to create bills and invoices that all of our sales reps use. So how many of you have a process? Do you check LinkedIn? Do you have any shared connections? How many calls is it going to take to get the contact on the phone? So probably about 10 years ago, we had a sales rep here, and our CEO, Larry Dillon, tells this story that he was walking through the sales department, and he had his call sheet, and he said, you've reached out to this person 15 times already today. What's going on? Bill turned to Larry and said, Larry, I need to call this guy 17 times. I know him. I know he'll buy from me if I reach out to him 17 times today. Larry's like, you're nuts, but okay. Contact 17, guy answers the phone. I'm ready to buy. Here's my credit card. Let's move forward. He knew what the buying decision was from that prospect. He knew it was going to take 17 times on one day to get this guy to buy. How many of us never even make 17 attempts throughout a lead cycle of a year? You guys can be honest. Remember, it's a no judgment zone here. We're here to help. You can put your hand up, you can say yes to it. And then how many emails are we sending? Emails is one of the most important ways of contacting people today. We have it pinged to our phones. We're out and about. Everyone's busy. So sending an email, leaving a voicemail. And what is the content of these emails? Are you trying to sell? If you're selling widgets, is your subject line, buy my widgets? Or is it helpful information, such as why this widget will save your company money? Is it helpful information? So if you're a mover, maybe there's a great article out there about how to get promoted during an office move. Here are the steps. We understand it's very stressful. If it's print services, maybe it is, hey, 5 steps when you grow your company, or are you rebranding your company? Here's 5 steps that you're going to need. Don't forget the business cards. Don't forget the napkins for your cocktail party or the invitations. It's amazing how many times we talk to print services or other industries, and they tell us they wait to the day of to print the invitations because it slipped their mind because they were so busy doing so many other things leading up to that event. So maybe you reach out to them early. It's all about having that process. It's all about those emails. It's all about the calls, the mailers, everything. We hear a story here about someone got told, we're not moving, don't call me again, click. And the person was like, okay. So he sends out a holiday card. It was like 2 weeks later, sent out a holiday card. It's December 26th, and the guy's phone rings. Answers the phone. He says, hey, I got your postcard here. I need to move by the end of January. Can you come out and move me? Guy was told, I'm not moving. Don't call me again. A simple postcard, because that was his follow-up process. He had 2 piles. One was if he said, not right now, but I am interested, I am moving, they get this. Other one was, no, I'm not interested in your widget. I'm not interested in moving. I'm not interested in print services. I'm good. I don't need a loan. I don't need anything. Stop. Okay, I'll send out the postcard to you. Questions so far? So how many emails do we recommend we send? Great question. I'm going to address that right now. In which process are you? And that question, it depends on the event. So if you're selling something that doesn't have an end date on it, you might want to recycle the lead and pass it off, and maybe it's a monthly email. If it has a decision time where you're running a campaign special, you might want to do every 2 weeks on it until it gets closer to it, and then maybe do a 48-hour window, 24 hours, 12 hours, so that it keeps it top of mind. And we can help you with that if you have something in mind for emails. We'd be happy to talk one-on-one with you about what type of plan and emails would be perfect for you. So which process are you? Is it one phone call and DQ 90% of the leads because you didn't get in touch, or you didn't get the right answer, you got a head fake, or the information wasn't perfect? Something was wrong with it, and we just give up and we don't call, we don't ask any other questions, we don't go onto LinkedIn, we don't go on to data.com or do any research. Or are we process 2? One phone call, one email. Anyone that responds, we're going to cherry pick. Process 3. 2 phone calls, 2 emails, follow up on any responses. I would say to be successful, you have to be at a minimum of process 3. 2 phone calls, 2 emails, follow up on anyone that opens the responses. So if you're given 100 business cards, 100 leads, 100 referrals, you get a 30% open rate. That's 30 contacts you should be able to well manage. And that's what process 3 does. It simplifies those 100 into your top 30. Doesn't mean you give up on the other 70. You put them on an email rotation. You put them on a follow-up campaign, drip marketing. Process 4, 7 attempts, voicemail and phone calls, drops off at location. Strong believer in this. If you have an appointment at a location and it ends early, you get there early. You can make a drop off to somebody that's in the area, that's opened an email, or you've called, left messages with, stop by. 5 minutes. Hey, I just wanted to put a face with the name. Here's my card. Here's a pen. Here's a donut. Here's a flyer. Just wanted to stop by. I'm on my way to another appointment. Saw that you were in the area and figured I'd stop by. Process 5, identify your top prospects. We always say we should have 100 top prospects for every market, every industry that we service. And out of those top prospects, so for those that aren't aware, Wendover for the last 27 years is the leader in providing office relocation leads. So you would think we would call 10 movers. All 10 would say, yes, you have companies that are moving. Yes, we do. We are a mover. Yes, you are. Let's buy your leads. You would think that is the way that it would work. Or same with telephone, same with cabling, print services, all the way down the line. But it's not. No industry is 100%. Where, it matches perfectly and everything's a go. But we have to identify our top prospects. We have to set up a campaign for success based on purchase decision time. So for us, it's when are the leads coming out? That's the end date for us. Okay, we have to have a campaign designed to have a call to action before the leads go out. We already have our templates. We already have everything loaded, matched with the phone purpose. So if it's in a meeting request, we have that email that's setting up for the meeting request. If it's 5 tips for a successful move, here's the 5 tips for a successful move. If it's how to grow your business, that call matches that email. And again, if you have a prospecting tool, it's really easy to do that. You track who opened your email. I'll pull up this one. This person opened an email a couple of minutes ago, right? You have LinkedIn, you have data.com. It's all right here at our fingertips. All right, I want to send this person an email. No problem. Save option, send the email, schedule the follow-up, advance the record. All right here. All my notes here, all my notes here. Everything. Maybe I don't want to speak to this person and I want data.com. Again, it's all about a process. What do we have that's going to help us get in touch with this person at this company? Right? Additional context, 495. If you're in print services, maybe you send a postcard to every single one of these people. And it starts getting passed around the office. But what is your process? Make it as crazy as you want. It doesn't have to be sales all the time, right? Because the more we sell, the more the client's going to give us a head fake or they're not ready to buy. We want to have that process where we walk them down. We're listening 80% of the time, talking 20, and they're going to self-recognize that they need your tool, your service, your product. So I kind of already talked a lot about this, about the sample process. You identify your top 100 prospects, who they are associated with. Are they a part of a trade organization? Are they a manufacturer, a van line, etc.? Are they part of a real estate group? Are they part of a networking group? Do you have any LinkedIn connections? Again, one click. Let's see. Previous orders, contracts, inquiries, etc. Step 2, voicemail and intro email. Schedule the follow-up. Step 3, Step 4, Step 5, 6, and 7. Step 7, don't stop until it's a deal, depending on the lead time. Maybe it's a monthly email. Then repeat the sales cycle over, depending on what on your industry. Again, some industries have a shelf life of we can only go to this point because they either move, they don't need my widget anymore, they don't need XYZ. But some other industries, you can continue to contact them, maybe per quarter, maybe twice a year, just to keep it in the back of the rotation. So now, secret 2, product belief. How many believe in the product that you sell? 1 to 10. 10, 9, 10, 10, 10. Exactly. 7, 10. Average is 8. Average is 9. Okay, 9. So, right, if you didn't believe in the product and you didn't believe in the company that you were working for, you wouldn't be at that company. Right? So believe in the product. If you believe in it, the more the prospect will believe in it and they'll become a client. We talked a little bit about it. Having the prospect self-identify the need for your solution. Right? The process. Believing in your product is part of a process. We want to learn from every interaction. What do the previous notes tell us? How can we help the prospect? If we're calling the prospect for a sale on the first attempt, maybe even the first 2 attempts, the guard is coming up. Now, if you're calling on the first 2 attempts and you're sending an email about free helpful information, or you're inquiring about them maybe needing your service, the guard's going to come down a little bit and they're going to sense that, wow, this person believes in the product and they believe that they can help me. I always try to put myself in the shoes of the person I'm calling. I don't want to be a salesperson. That's right, I said it. Don't want to be a salesperson. I'm a consultant. Consultants get paid more. Consultants have a better reputation, and consultants help people. Be a consultant. Ask questions. Dig into how you can help that prospect. And that's all about product belief. If you believe in it, you can be a consultant and you can sell. But you have to have your product belief process. Right? So again, why are we calling that prospect? If we haven't identified them as a top prospect and we figure that we can't help them, don't call them. Don't. It shouldn't count as one of your 100 dials or 50 dials or 10 dials or 1,000 dials. You should make every call count. I would rather have somebody make 50 calls and take the time, the 30 seconds it takes to go onto LinkedIn and data.com or even the company's website, do all of their research, figure out how they can help the client and call them over somebody that's going to make 100 to 150 calls. Who do you think would win that monthly or weekly sales challenge? Someone that's making 150 random calls without doing any research, or someone that believes in the product, has the process, and is going to make 50 calls a week or a day? You're exactly right. So far, the average is 90% say the person that's going to take the time. And that doesn't mean you're going to dive in and spend 15 minutes on each lead. It should be quick, 30 seconds to a minute. Okay, website. What are 2 facts about this company? How can I help them? Great. Mary's the person I need to speak with. Mary's not in. Great. When do you expect her to come back? When is a good time to reach her? That's something new. We just learned, right? If they tell us, oh, Mary usually isn't in until 9 o'clock in the morning. Great. Now we know. Before we might call again at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But if you don't know, so ask that other question. Identify why you can help them. And remember, anytime you get somebody on the phone, it's your time to shine. Now, you will get voicemail probably 90% of the time, but you have to be ready for that 10%. And if you believe in your product and you believe in your consulting skills, you'll be successful when you speak with that person. And remember, if you can sense that they are busy, say, hey, I'm following up on an email I sent. Wanted to see when we could schedule some time. It sounds like you're busy. How would Thursday at 2 o'clock sound for a 5-minute call? If you were the person on the other end of that line, kind of put your guard down a little bit if you were running around with several tasks that you have to complete, and somebody says, I understand you're busy. I'm following up on an email. How's Thursday at 2 o'clock? Is that better for you? They might tell you, send me an email. Great, no problem, we'll do. And I'm going to send that email and I'll follow up with you on Thursday. And make sure you follow up Thursday. If you do that, you just took a giant leap forward to trust and credibility. And you're going to get more opportunities, which is secret number 3. Any questions on secret 2 or secret 1? Do you see how they all tie into each other? You need the process. You need to believe in the product. Everything has a reason for success. But if you don't believe, you don't have a process, chances are you're not going to be too successful. Okay. Secret 3, opportunities. Leverage every opportunity. Always ask one more question before hanging up. So anyone that knows me, I always say, I always tell embarrassing stories about myself. I mean, there's the suit story, there's several ones, but the one whenever somebody asks me about opportunities and what the metrics are with them, I always tell someone to throw the grade school report card out the window. Because you're going to make 10 calls, you're going to get 10 voicemails, and you're never going to call the other 90. Because you want to be the valedictorian of your class. Let's be honest. How many of us were the valedictorian of our class? And let's also be honest. If you got 1 out of 100 deals, how long does it take you to get 1 deal now? How many calls? How many emails? What does that process look like for you? So if you got 1 deal that was 100 grand, is it worth it? So always recycle leads, no matter if it's networking. Think about it, networking, LinkedIn, Facebook, social media. Why is it so popular? Leverage it. Who do you know that can help you? You probably can help that person as well. Can they be a testimonial for you? When was the last time you asked a client, hey, by the way, can you go onto our social media site and like us? Maybe, hey, could we interview you and post it to our website? Maybe share it on LinkedIn. If you have 500 plus connections, that's going out to all 500 connections plus their network if they like it as well or share it. Then how many people are in your company that's outside your network that might like it or share it? Leverage every opportunity you can. Ask for referrals. So think about it. You're on an airplane, you're at the supermarket, you're on the train. Do you just put your headphones on and use your iPad or your tablet and your phone and start working? Or do you look around and maybe ask a question or two of the people that are sitting next to you? Are you always listening for cues that you might be able to help somebody that's standing in line? Bankers, commercial real estate, they're usually pretty good on this when they're in the stores. They're always looking for that customer service. Maybe recruit that person that's at the checkout line. Maybe they hear somebody say something. Oh man, the debit card. I've been trying to get this debit card replaced for 2 weeks. My bank won't do it. The card's, broken. They want to charge me $10 for it. If I'm the commercial lender there, let me tell you about how we could get you an instant card on that day, no charge. What is that event? Do you ever have those conversations with people? Remember, we got to listen 80% of the time and 20%. In sales, in consulting, we're never off the clock. We should always be leveraging opportunities by just listening. Who in your family network can you assist? Who in your client's family can you help with? And again, it's all about understanding what those opportunities can lead to, what those metrics are. Is it 50 conversations are going to get me 10 sales? Is it 100? Is it 1,000? Without knowing those metrics, you don't know if you're making the most out of every opportunity that you have, from networking, from trade shows, from leads, from referrals, from interactions. If you're not tracking it, if you're not coming up with your metrics, you don't know what success looks like in terms of prospecting. And that's one of the issues that go into that score of a 42% national average on prospecting. There was something in Wharton today that they were talking about campaigns and marketing initiatives. They always start off great, and it's not the implementation that fails. It's after the implementation when, okay, we have this, we're going to give you 1,000 leads. Great. This is going to be the kickoff date. This is when it's going to end. This is the promotion. Great. You're on your own. That's when it falls apart. What are the metrics? Out of these 1,000, what do we want to close? What is the expectation? If you don't have the expectation, when you make your first 10 calls and they tell you no, you think that the networking, the referrals, the leads, everything goes out the window. These leads are terrible. I have better things to do than make 100 phone calls. But if you have those metrics and you say out of 100, you need to close 10 deals. Out of 1,000, you need to close 100. Now you have that pipeline. Now you know, okay, I made 10 calls. They told me no. Great. I still got 90 more at-bats. And if you're into sports, baseball, right, you're in the Hall of Fame if you have a 350 batting average career. So we want to really highlight the opportunities and making the most of them. And remember, it's not complicated. It's 3 simple things that all of you already knew this. Leverage everything. Recycle the leads. Create and follow the process. Don't give up on the process because things get tough or because you're not getting the results you want after a week or after 2 weeks. Think about how long it takes you to buy something. Think about how long it takes you to close somebody that inquires with your company. Right? So if we're making these calls, we have to have all of that in our back of our minds. And remember, there's no cap on how many deals you can close in a day. So it could be your next call. It could be the record deal. And I always look at it this way. So I wrote a blog on LinkedIn the other day, and it kind of talked about making 2016 your best year ever with sales, with your career. And I always talk about things that are true that happened to me in high school. I was going home, brought my report card home. There was a couple B's, a C on there, and it had my class ranking. And my dad saw it and said, and I thought, oh, great, I'm in trouble. And my dad just turned around and said to me, so son, every time you walk down the hallway, look at the person that you pass. Every two people that pass you. I said, yeah, what's that? And he goes, they're smarter than you. I said, no, they're not. Because that's what this piece of paper says. They're smarter than you. I'm like, no, they're not. So I worked harder because I now knew the metrics. Okay, I got the point. He could have yelled at me. He could have screamed at me. He could have told me so many things. And he made that metrics to me to say, listen, this isn't where you want to be. You want to be over here. So that's what we did. Um, I got that improved. So we just need to know what the opportunities are, how we can go about getting it. And just think, again, out of 100 people, if there's 10 perfect for you, that's a success. And also think, out of all those 100, that's fine. Who'd you talk to and what was the outcome of that? That's the metric I would use. Hey, I might have called 5,000 people, but I only spoke to 20. If I spoke to those 20, what did I do with those 20 people? It's not complicated. You want to outsell your competition? Here's the facts. Create and follow a process. Believe in your product so you won't give up after the first attempt. Now, I'm sure you've already heard this statistic. Most sales are made after the 9th attempt. 90% of leads are dropped or mishandled. 90% of all sales are made after the first attempt, and then they give up. Shame on you. Shame on you. You're walking down the halls of the high school. Are they better salespeople or better consultants than you? No, they're not. You told me that they're not by telling me that your customer service is an A plus and that your product's an A plus. So leverage your process. Process for success. Leverage every opportunity that you have. Remember, it's a failing grade. You can only go up. On a national average, 42%. Doesn't matter if you ask the top corporation in the world, if you ask AT&T, or if you ask a small mom and pop shop, how are you on bringing in new clients with prospecting? It's a struggle. We're trying SEO. We're trying leads. We're trying marketing campaigns. We're trying advertisement. We're on the radio. We're sending out free pizzas. We're sending out free print materials. Great. What's the follow-up to your campaign? Well, we don't have it. We're kind of just hoping for people to come in. Have your process down to a T. Dot the I. Make the most out of every opportunity that you have, and success will come. So you want to be a rock star. I want you to be a rock star. Whether you purchase our prospecting tools, you purchase our leads, or if you don't buy anything to do with us, I want you to be successful. Because you took the time today to sit in on this webinar. That indicates to me that you want to be successful. So let's become a rock star. Let's follow the process, leverage every opportunity to its fullest, and believe in the product. Don't overcomplicate your efforts. Work smarter. Let's get 2 touches done in 30 seconds compared to 1 touch in 5 minutes. Let's have a drip marketing campaign. Let's have email blasts. Let's have postcards. Let's have drop-off days. Have sales competitions with people. Have it up on a board or on a Google document. This is the expectation for the team with leads, or with the networking event or the trade show that you attended. Set clear processes. If you do, you'll be successful. And of course, I'm from Philadelphia, home of the Villanova. Just won the men's NCAA championship for basketball, and of course, Rocky. So, as Mickey said to Rocky, well, what are we waiting for? Let's go make the most out of every opportunity we have today. Let's see if we can become rock stars or Heisman Trophy winners. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. I see there was a lot of questions, but I went over the time, so I will answer everyone's question via email to them. Uh, and I see there's some people that ask similar questions. Anyone that has similar questions, I'll post them as well so that everyone can see those questions. At any time you need any assistance with any marketing, any prospecting processes, anything that can make you more successful, or even if you have a question regarding sales, consulting, anything, we are here to help. There's no pressure. You can call us 100 times a day. We're happy to assist. We're happy to help you grow your business. Thank you, everyone, for spending your morning, your lunch, your afternoon with us. Again, Insight PRM, powered by Wendover. We thank you, and we look forward to your success in 2016 in quarter two. Thank you, guys.